He which is spirit, restore such a one, restore him in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou be tempted. Okay, so you had to restore such a man. Verse 2 says, bear ye one another's burden, and so fulfill the law of the Lord. So if he have some sort of fault, or whatever the case might be, in spiritual, you're supposed to restore such a person and bear each other burden, as the word of God says here. Right? And bear each other burden, and so fulfill the law of Christ. So you got to fulfill the law of Christ by bearing one another's burden. For if a man think, this is Galatians chapter 6, and I'm going on to verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceive himself. Okay? So if you think that you are something and you are nothing, you're deceiving yourself. And so many of us, so many people like to think of themselves something, and they are nothing. Nothing, the word of God says here. You are nothing. So you're deceiving yourself constantly, all the time, deceiving yourself, because God is all in all. You are nothing.
That's a word for us this morning, this house.
Deceive yourself. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in others. Okay? This is what God's word says. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he rejoice in himself. You got to prove God's word. You got to prove yourself. You got to prove the work that you are doing in God, and not in another. For every man shall bear his own burden. Here it come back again, right? Bear one another burden in verse 2, and in verse 5 it says, for every man shall bear his own burden. Going on in verse 6, let him that taught in the word of communicating unto him that teach in all good things.